So we are so excited for this training today. I am so excited to introduce to you our speaker for today. Our speaker for today is an acknowledged real estate influencer. He is already an influencer of developers, agents, and buyers. He has over 30 years of experience in real estate, specializing in high-end project selling. He rose from being a sales agent to holding top executive positions in several major real estate developers. He is consistent sales champion, and he has also developed so many leaders from different developers. He maintains regular columns, several publications, writes articles for real estate sites and trade magazines. He is a regularly invited to give motivational talks and trainings in events held locally and abroad. Ladies and gentlemen, the man they call Mr. Shark because of his renowned skills and expertise in real estate. My good friend, boss, Mr. Shark, Andy Manyala. Congratulations and welcome, boss Andy.
Thank you, boss. Thank you, boss Honest. This is very special because I remember, boss, mga 5 or 6 years ago, we also introduced the Shark principles to a lot of Filipino homes agents. This is a not from theories, but as you have mentioned, I started from being an agent. From being an agent and rose from the ranks, and I have competed against some of the best real estate leaders in the different companies. And medyo sinuwerte tayo and we became consistent champion. So this is not just theories from the book, but actual experience. So this is tried and tested. Now, the objective of this is to instill to the mind of the agents na, one, this is a long-term career. Hindi to sprint. This is a long-distance marathon. This is an Ironman marathon. And so the key there is, one, to have that determination. You don't give up. Okay. Number two is that real estate, take this out of your mind na real estate is pera-pera lang. Remove that, because once you lose your ethics in this business, tapos ka na. Pwedeng wala kang pera ngayon. I always tell this, I always repeat this. So real estate, pwedeng wala kang pera ngayon. Don't worry. Pwede mong kitain yan. Yeah. But isang pagkakamali mo lang, once you ruin your reputation, that's it. Tapos na yung career mo sa real estate. Yeah. Your brand is very important. Your name is very important. Your reputation is ultimately very important. Now, bakit Shark? People are asking, and this is the reason why it is very important that people understand why Shark. Is Shark me? Ako ba si Shark? Or you are the Shark? You are the Shark. The reason why this is very important, especially in times like this, is because yun ang hinahanap ng investors. Lalo na ngayon. Ano ba yung hinahanap ng investors? Number one, ang gusto ng investors ngayon is specialist. Hindi pwede sideline lang. Kaya nga merong fire. They want you to train and be trained and be a specialist talaga in what you're doing. Specialist ka talaga. And then because of, especially in this trend now, no, where everything is online. I don't know you. You're my agent. You don't know me. And there are hundreds or thousands of agents online. So what's important is, how would I know that you're honest? I am looking for an honest specialist. Okay? So, gusto ko is honest specialist. But, how will you get my millions of pesos? Ngayon nga, ano yung advice? Keep your cash. Keep your cash. Stay liquid. Paano ko makukuha yung millions mo to invest in me if you do not believe in me? So I have to project myself as an authority. Agree? So as an authority, I have to project myself as an authority. Now, okay, nandun yung brand mo. But then, kung hindi ka naman mahagilap, remember, if there's a
Yeah.
client in need, your response time is very important. Once they inquire, you have that 5 minutes, 5 minutes window to respond. Otherwise, lilipat na yun ng inquiry. So you have to be very responsive. Not only at the time of sale, but you have to be very responsive to the needs of your client. When I say responsive to the needs of your client, when the client is talking to you, you listen with your eyes, especially at this time. Ngayon kasi, since walang person-to-person thinking, communication, all online. So you have to watch every movement. You listen with your eyes on what they're saying, and not just push what you have in your listing. Listen to what they need. Listen to their objective. Listen with your eyes. Listen to what they are not even saying.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have to be responsive. And last is you have to be very knowledgeable with what you're offering. Eh kung kunyari, nasaan ba yung location yan? Ma'am, malapit lang yata sa city. Ilang units yan? Medyo madami ho. How can, and you don't know your project, you don't know your project. So they want you to be
Yeah.
knowledgeable. So you have to be a specialist, honest, an authority, responsive, and knowledgeable. So dun pa lang shark yung hinahanap eh. Okay. So this is the reason why we need to learn this shark principles. Now, first, very important is when you go into real estate in this industry, you have the most important thing is to start right. Start right. Yung iba kasi masyado shortcut. When you take the shortcut, hindi mo malaman kung ano yung obstacle na nandun. So you have to start right. How would you know how to start right? Get the models, get your mentors, get your training, get your teachers to follow. Okay? Wag mong shortcutin. Yes, maybe maka-shortcut ka ngayon. You may make your commission today, but you will not, I promise you will not have a long career. So, and you have to start right so that you will stay on top for a very long time. For a very long time. That's very important to know because again, this is a long-term career. Now, just a little about a little background. Kagaya ng sinabi nga sa inyo, kanina, I started in 1989 as an agent. Okay. In 89, wala pang RESA. However, I already took my license as a license broker in 1989 with number 940 because I want to start right and do things properly. Okay. Now, as early as 1989, sinasabi na nila, next year kasi magkakaroon na ng, magiging course na to. They've been telling that 30 years ago. Okay, so naniwala ako. So I got my license. Yung time din na yun, and you are very lucky with Filipinos because you have the right culture. Real estate is a business. Again, starting right because you have already started this as a business, being an entrepreneur, and not as a job wherein you get your monthly allowance. Yes, it helps, but actually that should be taken lang temporarily to help you start. Once you start making your commission, dapat these people should have started doing this now as a business. Okay, I'll tell you why later. During that time, we have no allowance, no technology. Buti nga merong Zoom, merong Viber, merong Facebook where you can really present. Noong time, walang malls, walang magandang brochure, walang virtual reality. The payment terms during that time was 30% down. after 30 days from reservation and 70% in 24 months. See, hindi yung 10% in 5 years. Later, I'll tell you that you can actually do this. Some clients, a lot of clients can actually afford to pay the down payment now. And when they pay the down payment now, what happens to your commission? You get it immediately. If you only know how to motivate them, a lot of people have that kind of money. But then, since in-offer mo kagad 5,000 a month, of course, people will go towards that direction. That should actually be a part of your negotiation later on. You want to make money now, you want to get your commission now, learn how to close with down payment. Now, another thing, you didn't have fancy showrooms. And actually, during that time was the start of the first crisis that I had. 1892, I experienced a 97 crisis, I experienced a 2008 crisis. So this one, how do you think I feel about this crisis? Excited. Because there's a lot of opportunities that other people do not see during crisis. Other people look at the negative news. Other people look at the crisis. Very few people look at the opportunities. And that is what we should try to look at. Look at what Filipino Homes is doing right now. So they saw that there's crisis, people cannot go out, and this lockdown may stay for an extended period. And even after the lockdown, it's the gatherings will still be limited. Hindi pa tayo makapaggawa ng seminar. So, nakita kagad ni Boston yan. And then, he organized the fire because he knows what's going to happen. See, he saw the opportunity in this crisis. And this is going to be very, very big. Okay? So, again, as Elias mentioned also, I was an agent. And I am an agent by blood. See? And you have to always, think like an agent, but also think as a businessman. Okay, so that is what you should, that should be your mindset. Now, I was also very fortunate to be exposed with the international community, and right now being a member of CREBA, FIABC, NAR, I was able to network with both local and international partners. This is very important, which you will see later. Also, because of all these questions over the years that I have encountered, objections and questions and concerns that I have encountered, I would like to encourage you, every time you encounter a question or an objection, write it down. And then if possible, maybe Boston could have a staff wherein he can receive all the questions, all the concerns, all the objections that the agents have encountered, and gather them and compile them and do a research on all these questions. So over the years, I've gathered a lot of questions from the very from the common buyers up to the most astute investors, and have collected them and have compiled them in a book, which is this one, about taxation, about repatriation of funds. This how does the GDP affect the real estate prices? All this, especially those that I wasn't able to answer, especially with different cultures. The question of a foreign investor from the Middle East is different from a question of an investor from Singapore, and different from a question of an investor from UK, and different from the question of an investor from China. because of the different government systems. So I didn't know all the answers to those questions. And when I start training the people or the agents, especially those who want to go international, I don't want them to experience the same mistake. I don't want them to experience the same embarrassment when you cannot answer these questions. That's why I compiled them. This is almost 600-page book. Uh, I just was not able to publish it because a week after I completed this, nagkaroon ng train 1 and then magkakaroon ng train 2. So on the taxation part, some of it has to be revised. Anyway, so this was Dr. Ong, who was your speaker last week when they recognized us, and Jeffrey Fu, who was a past president of Singapore uh, Agents Institute, the top institute in Singapore. So that's clever. I'm very active with the developers also, which is very important because it's very important that we are agents, but we should also know how the developers think. When we make our requests, we also have to understand where they're coming from. We have also have to understand how come all our requests cannot be granted kahit na gustong gusto nila. This one gives you a bigger perspective. Okay. While I'm not very active with sales, medyo sinuswerte pa rin tayo mag-top with the different developers. Last year, we signed up with Keller Williams, so I was able to get with partners, I was able to get the franchise for Keller Williams Manila Bay. We are focusing on that market, wherein all the movements of the secondary market in the Manila Bay area. Now, going to the main topic, which is the shark principles. It's very important that I emphasize it is not just about making money, creating wealth, being rich. What is being rich? Is it just about money? What value does it have if you have all the money in the world, but your relationships are failing? What value does it give you if you have all these big mansions and your cars, but then you don't have your wife and kids around you to enjoy it with? What what value does it have if you have all the money in the world but everybody hates you? Okay, so the Shark Principles is about developing champions with values. Ito yung sinabi ko kanina. Ito yung hinahanap ng mga investors. You should ask yourself, am I a specialist? Can I be considered a specialist? Okay, don't tell yourself that you're honest. Don't, yes, everybody says, oh, honest naman ako eh. Honest naman ako. Even the scammers, they say, oh, sir, to be honest, don't use that word. Never use that term. Because that term, when you use that expression, sir, alam mo, to be honest with you, di ba? Ang ibig sabihin, why? Kanina ba hindi ka nagiging honest? So, sir, to be honest with you don't have to emphasize that. People will see that. And your honesty, the clients will be the one to determine that. Now, with the new norm of doing things online, people will be, if you don't close this now, people will be looking at you, looking at your background, looking at your profiles, looking at your Facebook, looking at your track record, looking at your, on what you're doing. Then they will decide, oh, this looks like an honest person. This person is an authority. This person has a good reputation. See, this is very important under the new norm. So honest. And then with authority. How do they look for? How do you say that, sir, I'm an authority in my business. They will decide based on what they will see. That's the reason why you have to change you have to, especially the new ones. The old, hindi pala old, the senior Filipino homes leaders already know what to do with their profiles. Now, also don't fill it up too much with only for sale, for sale, for sale, for sale. Okay, mix it up that you're a real person. Okay, and then mix it up with postings that establish your authority. Share some positive news. Share some tips being in housing. Uh, Control the thermostat of the environment you're in. Right now, puro fake news. Puro either negative news or puro fake news. So, uh, ikaw ba magpapa-influensya doon sa negative news and fake news? Or will you be the influence to your market, to your clients, to your buyers? You have to be the thermostat. Yung sa aircon, ikaw magkocontrol ng temperature. Ikaw magkocontrol ng temperature sa sarili mong market. They're responsive and knowledgeable as discussed earlier. So, yun yung i-disclose, reveal ko sa inyo ngayon ng mga top secrets, especially for the new ones. I think out of the, how many now? 490. I think mga 10% pa lang yung naka-attend nito during that time. First, everybody starts as a salesperson. Everybody starts as a salesperson. And every time you should always try to revisit the basics as a salesperson. But the basic characteristic of a salesperson is you have to be systematic. Systematic. What is systematic? You have a procedure on how you do things. This is the way that you do things faster. Iba yung natataranta sa mabilis. Yung nagmamadali, yes, you can do things quick, but in the process, you miss a lot of steps. You miss a lot of details. However, if you're systematic, you already know how to move from one step to another and do things more efficiently. You don't cut corners, you don't skip details. So systematic and hardworking. Why is this very important? Systematic ka nga, tamad ka naman. Okay, I know what to do. I know what to do. Okay, do it. Tomorrow na lang. Ay, yung procrastination natin ang isang pinaka mabigat na kalaban natin. So you have to be systematic and hardworking. Now, you already have the two. However, I already know what the steps by steps. I've decided and I work very hard. And you meet your client. Remember, if the time with the client is as valuable as gold, ang hirap kumuha ng appointment, ang hirap kumuha ng client, ang hirap kumuha ng appointment. So, treat that moment like gold. It's very valuable. So, nag-meeting na tayo, and then the client asks you questions. Hindi mo masagot. Ay, kasi sir, bago lang po ako. Ay, sir, tatanong ko po sa manager ko. Ay, sir, tatanong ko po kay Boston. Ay, sir, hindi ko pa ho napag-aralan. You see, you already missed that opportunity. Systematic ka na, hardworking ka na, but you do not have adequate real estate knowledge. Your credibility suddenly went down from 10 to 0. Three questions that you cannot answer, Strike three, you're out. Anything that you say after those three failed questions, wala nang papaniwalaan sa'yo. That's the reason why training is very, very important. Okay? And before you meet a client, preparation is very, very important. So systematic, hardworking, with adequate real estate knowledge. This five cannot go, you cannot practice one without the other. It has to be all together. Systematic, hardworking, adequate real estate knowledge. Okay. Next, so nakapasok ka na. Now you've started that habit. You've started the learning process. Being the Shark Principles is not a seminar. It's not a one-day lecture. It is a way of life. You have to practice it every day. It's not enough that you have memorized what it means. It is a way of doing things. It is forming a habit. So, nakapasok ka na ngayon as a salesman. Now, how do we become a champion salesman? Iba yung nakabenta. Now, you want to move to the next level? Be a champion salesman. How do you become a champion salesman? One, you have to always and continuously develop your skills. Not just because kailangan mo ng CPD. Pabayaan mo na yung CPD. Kaya merong CPD requirement, kaya wala, you have to require your own CPD. I have to have my own continuing development program. Last night, I attended a seminar in Malaysia on how to be a better public speaker. On Thursday, I also enrolled, I think sila Boston also enrolled in some courses in Harvard, provided by Harvard. Take advantage of that, it's free. On speaking and writing. See, I still have to develop that. Okay, so you have to continuously develop your skills. You're very lucky now. Take advantage of this lockdown to avail of a lot of free webinars and training sessions. Number two is you have to have the heart of a shark. You have to have the heart of a champion. Determination. One, sabi nga, di ba, you have to have a dream. But is it enough to have a dream? A lot of people became poor because they just dreamed. They just dreamt. They stayed there, hindi na gumising. Nanaginip na lang na naginip. You have to dream. But from that dream, you have to develop it into a desire. Pag nanasa, you really want it so bad. A lot of people wish they were rich. Oh, sana yumaman ako. Sana. That's a wish. That's the reason why wala nangyari. Sana yumaman ako. And it's very vague and it's a wish. But others, they move it from a dream to the desire. Passionate desire. Now, is it enough? No. Because if you don't have the next D, which is determination, so first obstacle pa lang, first challenge pa lang, first failure pa lang, they give up. Ayoko na, hindi para sa akin na real estate. 5 pa lang yung tinawagan, na-reject na, ayoko na, hindi para sa akin na real estate. See? Because walang determination. So you dream, make that into a desire, and have that determination. And that is what you should have in your heart. Otherwise, nothing will happen to you. Okay. Now, attitude should always be positive. Attitude should always be positive. Galing ka na dun sa determination. If you don't have that positive attitude, you will only be encountering two things in your travel. foc- to focus? Are you focusing on your objectives or are you focusing on the obstacles? Objectives, obstacles. Saan ka nakatingin? When you read the posts ngayon, the news, you watch TV, you read articles, yung mga fino-forward sa inyo, ang dami negative. Ay naku, mukhang babagsak ang real estate. Ay naku, babagsak ang economy. Ay naku, walang trabaho mga tao. Ay naku, nag-uwian ng mga OFWs. Ay naku, babagsak mga negosyo. Okay. Kung dun ka nakafocus, then dun ka talaga pupunta. You will have a self-fulfilling prophecy. Because you're focused on the obstacles, not the objective. Focus on the objective. Objective. Obstacles will be there. Just focus on the objective. At least you know it's there and you know how to prepare to tackle them. I'm not saying you disregard these obstacles. I'm not saying that don't listen to it. Hear it and then make plans on how to overcome these obstacles. Okay? But don't focus on those obstacles. Next is resilience. You will only develop this resilience if your attitude is positive, if you have that heart which is determined. Okay? That is the only way that you can develop your resilience. Iba yung matibay kesa dun sa puro pasensya lang. Iba yung passive na pasensya. Pinapabayaan mo lumipas, but you're not doing anything about it. Resilience is being proactive with the negative environment. Next is knowledge. Now, you have to keep an updated knowledge about the whole industry. So from macro to micro, you have to have a very good, if not very comprehensive knowledge about the industry, about the company, and about the project, and about the unit that you're selling. Okay, so because clients will be asking you from macro to micro. This requires a lot of preparation. This requires daily practice. This requires daily studies. Okay? If you really want to be a champion, okay, do you think champions do one set of push-up every day and then magsa-champion sila? Do you think Pacquiao will do 100 sit-ups lang a day and maybe jog for 5K and maybe shadow box for 30 minutes? No. If you want to be a champion, you go beyond what is normal. Not abnormal. Above normal. Okay? Next. Now, more than ever, you need a team. You need your network. You need to belong to a team. Right now, the ones listening to this program are all within the Filipino Homes community. But if this was an open seminar, I will be inviting people to be active with organizations, with associations, or with networks like this. But choose which network, which organization, or which association can give you the support that Filipino Homes is now giving you. I'm telling you from experience, from network, modesty aside, I think I have one of the biggest networks in the country. I know a lot of people. I have friends from north to south, especially brokers. And I can confidently say there's no network like this, with this type of system, with this type of support, with this type of with the number of leaders that we have. There's no organization like this in the whole country. Maybe it's safe to say, since I also am very familiar with other organizations in the other countries in the world. in the world. There's no organization as big as this with the type of support system that we have in the world. Okay, this can be lined with likes of Keller Williams, Remax, maybe Century 21. Yeah, so this type. Although this one is really customized for the Philippine setting. For the Philippine setting. Okay. Now, yung wait, sorry. So you have to be in a team. Now, what is the importance of being in a team? Being in a team means there has to be synergy. What is synergy? We both bring out the best from each other. I bring out the best in you. You bring out the best in me. Okay. Sabi nga, 1 plus 1 equals 3. You're not just there as individuals. You are there as a team. I support you. You support me. We support the team because of a common objective. Another very important factor in a team is that it should have harmony. One direction, one beat ng isang conductor so that you will have harmony. It cannot be everybody's reading the notes to have a perfect melody and then you play your own tune. Okay, otherwise you will not produce very good music. Alliance. This is very important. Any organization, whether you're the best organization, kahit nga si Mother Teresa na saint na, inaatake pa rin, every organization will be attacked from all sides because again, you cannot please everybody. There will be haters, there will be bashers. But those who are inside should have a very strong alliance. Uh, I think most of you have watched the 300, right? The 300. Now they have a formation which is called the phalanx, wherein all their shields, they connect all their shields so that pag nagpapaulan ng arrows, walang tatamaan doon sa kanila. Now, when you have that, you cannot afford to have even the smallest butas para may mapapasukan yung arrow. That is how you should be connected. Your alliance should be very strong that you protect each other. If you have read a chismis, if you have heard the chismis, instead of fanning the flame, address it, kill it, and then maybe raise the issue with the leader. I've heard something about this, or is this true? Is this valid? Okay? Because remember, there are two ways to rise up. Either you really stand out because you're very good, or you try to destroy everybody around you. There are people who always do the second one. Since wala silang mapagmalaki na maganda, they just want to destroy everybody around them, which is not a very good approach because that one will not last. Because may karma, may balik yan. Very important, next is the respect for each other. Respect for each other's time. Respect for each other's client. Respect for each other's property. Respect for each other's idea. Respect for each other's reputation. Very, very important because you want them to do the same to you. How do you show respect for each other's time? When you have a meeting, be punctual. The shark's time is always 15 minutes before the said time. Ang sa amin, kunyari, if the meeting is at 10 o'clock, you have to be there by 9:40. If you are there by 9:45, that means you're late. Okay. Now, what does that show kasi? If I have a meeting with you and I let you wait for an hour or two, what does that tell you? I am telling you that I do not value your time, I do not respect you. As simple as that. Now, imagine, kung ba may closing ka, magpapakalate ka, of course not. Kahit alas tres pa na madaling araw yan. We've had experiences before wherein the client cannot meet us and on the way na to the US, but then the time na lang niya to meet us, to give the check was at 11 o'clock dun sa, at 10 o'clock dun sa airport. So takbo yung agent punta doon because mamimiss yung paalis na yung client. The agent knows that that is an important window of time, that 10 minutes of window. Kaya kahit na gabi pinuntahan. That is how we should treat people, even our peers, even yung agent mo. Hindi yung, sige, bala kayo maghintay kayo dyan. Ahente ko lang naman kayo. I'm the manager. Ahente ko lang naman kayo. You see, if you want to be respected, give them the same respect. Respect is given to everyone, from the lowest to the highest. K is camaraderie. This is where you have your fellowship with the other, your brotherhood. You treat each other not just as a co-employee, uh, uh, co-employee or a partner or a colleague or a co-broker or a co-agent, but almost like a family. When you treat each other at that level, may meron special something na nadadagdag dun sa relationship. It's about caring. It's about caring for the welfare of that person. Uh, that is the bond, really. That's the bond that will really tie up yung teams. If you want to grow your teams, if you want your teams to be solid, this one is very important. Are you still following? Raise your hands. May raise your hands, Marita. Okay. Now, uh, kanina as a team, but what is your role now as a team player? Diba? Yung kanina, what are you expecting from the team? But this one, what is the team expecting from you? Number one is sharing. Remember, if you really want to be relevant to a group, if you really want to be relevant to a network, if you really want to expand your network, the key to be unstoppable is sharing and helping. Nobody wants nobody wants to stop, or nobody will prevent somebody who is there to help and to share. Okay. Now, uh, because remember, if you want people to listen to you, if you will just be talking about yourself, I, me, and myself, wala makikinig sa'yo. Or if you're only talking about what you expect to get from the group, if you're only talking about what you expect to get from the organization, if you only talk about what you expect to get from the company, nobody will listen to you. Because people only listen to one station. It is WIIFM. What's in it for me? Imagine kung lahat kayo having that thought and everybody's talking about themselves and what they can get from the organization. Sino pakikinggan nila? You can talk and talk about yourself, nobody will listen to you. But if you try to share something, to add value to them, to help them, improve, then you will get their attention. Then you will get your attention. So first is to share. Don't expect, just share. Learn. This one is you will learn this phrase. You will notice that I'll be repeating this phrase over and over during that talk. Learn to find happiness in giving, even without expectation. Learn to find happiness in giving and sharing. Once you start expecting, that is the start of getting disappointed, getting frustrated. Okay? You just give and share, give and share. Okay? If you learn how to find happiness in that, nandun yung totoong joy. Nandun yung totoong happiness in giving and in sharing. So, share, and then you help. And then, since you are building your teams, you should assist new members. And with this one, I don't mean that you only assist your own recruits, your own members. You assist anybody who needs help. You assist anybody who you think needs assistance. Why? You will also never know when you will be needing assistance. Remember, we do not know everything. There will be times that I may not know something that a newcomer is an expert with. Okay, so just be always there to assist. Okay, respect the clients of others. Very, very important. Why is this highlighted from the previous respect in general kanina? Respect the clients of others. This is very important, especially when you're doing cross-selling, especially when you're doing referrals. And this is very important in a network as huge as Filipino Homes. If I have a client, other smaller groups, in-assist nung isa yung client ng isa, dahil let's say, when the client walked in, yung agent niya was not available. Maybe she was or he was in a viewing. And then dumating yung client sa showroom na unannounced. And then there's this agent na nag-assist. Usually, the agent, sasabihin, either yung iba ayaw mag-assist, not unless meron siyang share, or yung iba naman ayaw mag-assist dahil baka or na-insecure or baka magkamali naman siya. Okay, so sometimes valid yung reason. But if you're asked for assistance, by all means, assist. You will never know kung kailan darating yung time na ikaw naman mangailangan ng assistance. Don't expect. Now, if there's a company policy about sharing ng sa assistance or may assistance fee, then well and good. If not, don't expect. Okay? If the other agent gives you something, thank you. Just thank them. And also never, never, never attempt to steal that client. You see, for 27 years, I've been handling agents and brokers. And I've seen a lot of scenarios. And I've also observed sometimes in showrooms, darating yung client. Pagdating yung client sa showroom, let's say the showroom does not have a receptionist. Sasalubong ngayon yung isang agent na naka-manning, naka-slot. Good morning, ma'am. Good morning, sir. Welcome to our showroom. Can I help you? Tapos sabihin, we're just checking the model unit. Meron na ho ba kayong agent? So when I heard that, sabi ko, good. This person is quite honest dahil tinatanong niya muna kung meron nang nakausap. So, the client said, yes, meron kaming kausap, actually si Juan de la Cruz or si Maria. Okay. So, initial impression ko was that, okay nagtanong muna. Maganda yung protocol nila. Pero, narinig ko din, may pinirmahan ho ba kayo? He said, oh, I said, okay, this is bad. This is bad. Because nakita mo kagad yung personality ng tao. There was already an attempt. Never do that. Now, keep the team's secrets. Every team has a secret. Now, sometimes it may be a secret in a strategy, sometimes a secret in the flaws that they're working on. Keep it within the team, from the smaller group to the whole company. Okay. Sometimes, a lot of people uh, try to expose secrets. Anybody who exposes secrets, do you think they have good intentions? Do they have good intentions, or do they want to destroy their own team to uplift themselves? Keep this in mind. Anything that you do to raise yourself up by pushing people down will go back 360 degrees and haunt you. Maybe not now, but later. There will always be karma. Keep that in mind. So that's why K is always karma. At the end of every shark acronym, keep this in mind. K should remind you of karma. If I do this, kakarmain ba ako? If I do this, kakarmain ba ako? But if you do good things and good things and good things, the good karma will come back to you. Next. Okay. Reasons for working. I've been guilty of this when I was younger. Anong tawag sa ahente? Or buhay marino. Buhay marino is one day millionaire. Or may kasabihan sa Tagalog, ubos biyaya, bukas nakatunganga. Nakakuha ka ng commission ngayon, you splurge it, and then hindi mo alam kung kailan susunod ka makakabenta. And then bukas, inabot ka pa ng COVID, wala kang pera. Si Mayor, walang ayuda. Okay, mga, okay. I mean, you're dead. So, you should know your priorities for working and how to manage your funds. So, your first priority for working when you get your commissions is savings and security. Usually, the common practice is pagkakuha mo ng pera, gastos dito, gastos doon. Pag may natira, save. Correct? So that's a usual tendency. But unfortunately, wala nga natitira for savings. So, now, what you do is allocate already a certain percentage of the money you received for savings. And then security. Meron kang allowance, let's say, meron kang emergency fund for the next 6 months or emergency fund for the next year. Iba yun emergency fund mo dun sa savings, okay? So you don't touch that. You don't touch that savings. And then invest in your health. Okay. 2 ways to invest in your health. Number 1 is to live a healthy life. One thing good about this COVID experience is that people have now realized how to live healthy, how to live clean, and how to live healthy. Now, from the basic exercise, which is like even washing your hands and keeping yourself clean, to eating healthy food and doing workouts. But aside from being healthy, you have to secure your health for emergencies. Invest in an HMO. Invest in an HMO, whether as an individual or as a company. Even just the basics. Why? You see, especially uh, if you are the breadwinners. If you are the breadwinner in your family, nagkaroon ng emergency, uh, being the breadwinner, marunong tayong dumiskarte. We know how to find money, even maybe to sell something, and maybe to borrow or whatever. Marunong tayong dumiskarte. But, paano kung tayo na ang tinamaan? Ikaw lang yung sole breadwinner. Nagkaroon ka ng sakit. How will you go to the hospital? Diba? Even just for emergency. Saan sila kukuha ng pambayad? So, naging pabigat ka pa dun sa pamilya mo. Invest in nature mo. Invest in your insurance also. Okay? So that pag nagkaroon ng emergency, alam mo, you feel at least may peace of mind ka. Whether it's an accident or maybe it's a disease or whatever, at least alam mo yung initial mo for a few days at least nun sa hospital. Walang iintindihin yung family. Hindi ka naging pabigat. Okay. So, saving, security, health, and then the ambition. Why? Nandun sa pangatlo yung ambition. Okay? Kasi you have to think first of your short-term needs and the needs of your family, the immediate needs of your family. Pag inuna mo kasi yung ambition, sumobra naman yung ambition mo, sometimes you disregard everything and sometimes you even disregard relationships because masyado kang ambisyoso na inuna mo na yan, nawala na yung priority mo. Sometimes because of that, hindi ka na natutulog, hindi ka na kumakain because masyado ka nakafocus dun sa ambition mo. Okay, having an ambition is good, but not at the expense of relationships and your health. Why am I always emphasizing relationships and health? The reason why we are working is because we want to be happy. If we want to be happy, how can we be happy? How do you define happiness? Is it by having a lot of money? You may have a lot of money, but you don't have anyone to spend it with because you have very bad relationships. Para sa pera mo, pang post mo sa Instagram that ito yung trips mo, ito yung kotse mo, ito yung mansion mo. Do you feel good about that? You have a lot of likes? Or you see your children happy, your partner's happy, relationships. And how can you enjoy your money? And how can you enjoy your family or your relationships if you don't have good health? That's why it's a third priority. Fourth priority is the recognition. Yes, we want to be number one. I want to be the top. I want to be the champion. But not at the expense of the first three. Because sometimes just because of being number one. Hindi gusto ko number one. Magbebenta para lang ma-close yung sale, i-rebate lahat ng commission. Many years ago, we have this guy who was from another division. Awardee siya dun sa quarterly. Merong quarterly awards. He was a champion. And then, I met him in the corridor. Naghiram ng pera. He was borrowing money for fare, pan-taxi, papunta dun sa event. Sabi ko, bakit anong problema? Dami-dami mong benta. Boss, wala namang commission yun dahil liningi lahat ng commission ko eh. You see, number one ka nga, but you don't have money. Bakit ka pa nagtrabaho? For the trophy? tapos wala naman makain yung pamilya mo, recognition will come. Recognition will follow if you just do things properly. If you just do things properly. It's good to be number one. I want to be the best. I want to be the champion. It's not the goal. The goal would be maybe I want to make, because ano ang specific, is it measurable? Ano specific, what's this, target? Let's say, sige, we will hit 100 million this month. We will hit 200 million this month. Then that's specific. Because every day, makikita mo kung nasaan ka na. If you're not hitting it, then alam mo yung adjustment mo the following day, the following day, the following day. Now, if that 100 million will take you to the number one position, so be it. If that 100 million, kulelet ka pa din, so be it. But you were able to hit your goal. See, now, may evaluate mo ngayon. Maybe sobrang liit ng goals ko. Maybe sobrang dali ng ginagawa kong goals. Maybe ayoko i-challenge yung sarili ko. That's why I set up a very small goal. So no, you devise. Alam mo, kaya mo pala eh. Kaya mo pala mag-hit ng 500 million. Why are you setting very safe goals? Why are you setting? Gusto ko lang ho realistic eh. Realistic is good, but realistic is for the mediocre. Champions are not realistic. Champions are not realistic. Okay. You work doubly hard than the mediocre. Okay. So recognition is number 4. Last na, pag nakakuha kayo ng pera, ihuling-huli nyo na, parang away na, ihuling-huli nyo na yung kapritsyo. Yung iba kasi, hindi pa natatanggap yung komisyon. Bibili kong bagong cellphone, bibili kong bagong bag, bibili kong bagong ganito, bibili kong bagong ganito. Which you don't need, especially at this time. Go for the basics. So, ihuli mo na yung kapritsyo. When you do this, that's the shark way. Pag inuna mo yung kapritsyo, recognition, ambition, health, huling-huli mo yung savings and security, hindi shark way yun. Magka-crash ka. Crash yun, hindi shark. Okay? So, don't crash. Shark tayo. Now, nakuha mo ng pera. Again, paano mo gastos yan? Savings security, unahin mo household expenses, but then, iba pa yung sa savings mo, still, nakapaggawa ka na ng household expenses mo, may pera ka ngayon for investments. You invest in assets. Maybe buy another property that you're handling. Remember, pag ikaw, may unit ka dun sa binibenta mo, it's much, much easier to sell because the client knows na believe ka dun sa project na binibenta mo. Maganda ba yan? Sir, meron nga ho ako dyan eh. Kumuha nga ho ako ng 2. Ganun ho ako kabilib dyan. Talaga? O sige, kuha na rin ako. Okay. So, invest in assets. And then, next mo na yung recreation. And then, huling-huli mo yung capriccio. Again, ito yung order ng priority mo. Especially at this time. Save your cash. Manage your cash properly. Okay. Kanina, how to be champions. To be a champion is the easiest way. To be a champion is the easiest thing to do. Because sometimes nakakuha ka lang ng isang, may nag-walk-in, may nag-inquire, bumili ng 100 units, bumili ng 50 units. Okay. For that month or for that quarter, nag-champion ka. Easy. Champion ako. But then, the most difficult thing is to stay as a champion for a long time. Consistency. I don't know if Boss A is listening now. That's why I call her Boss Champ. Because that is the model for consistency. That is very difficult. That is very difficult to do. To retain that that position. So that's your champion. Now, how do you stay as a champion? One, kalimutan mo na don't let it get into your head. Okay, you want to stay as a champion, you serve. You serve. See, this is one of the values. Then, instead of letting it get into your head, you serve more. You serve your clients. You serve your people. You serve your network. Help them, and they will appreciate it. Kesa masyado ka ng mataas, masyado ka ng mayabang. Next, uh, next thing that you really have to develop is your hunger for knowledge. Once you tell yourself, alam ko na yan. Nag-webinar na kami yan. Nag-seminar na kami yan. Nag-take up ko na yan. Sinabi rin ni Boston. If you are not using it, if you are not doing it, then you don't know it. Okay? I'll repeat. If you are not using it, if you are not doing it, then you don't know it. Nabasa ko na yan. So what? Nabasa mo na. If you really believe in that, and you think it works, why are you not doing it? Nakuha ko na yan 5 years ago. Nag-attend na ako ng seminar niyan. So what? If you're not doing it, you don't know it. Keep on learning. There has to be hunger for knowledge. We do not know everything. Okay. Now, another very important thing is your active network. Active network. The person, the person who has the biggest network in the Philippines with an active network is only one. That's Boston. And I'm not saying this because he's the Filipinos or kumpare ko siya. It's because I know the people here who have the big networks, but nobody as big as this. Okay, may malaki network. But how active is your network? Network is not your friends on Facebook. Meron ka nga 5,000 friends. Wala naman nag-like sa post mo. Yung nanay mo lang na nandun sa tabi mo.
Connection.
Na tinuturuan mo. Okay? May party line. Party line, pakibaba yung telepono. Okay. So, active network. What's a network? Is it the people you know? Is it your collection of business cards? Is it the number of contacts that you have in your contact list? Is it the number of friends on your Facebook? No. Your network are the people that you interact with that brings you closer to your objective. Okay? Hindi listahan yon. If they are not actively interacting with you towards the attainment of your goals, then it is not your network. So maintain an active network. So, and continuously expand your network. Because of course, the network, it will not be all active at the same time, all the time. There will be people who will be busy with other stuff, may not be as interested with this type of project. So you have to continuously expand your network. You expand your network high and low, far and wide. The whole Philippines. You expand your network from the low end to the high end. Okay. I have a program on building your network, but that will take another session. Now, next is your reputation. Reputation is something very, very, very important. You miss isang pagkakamali lang. Yesterday, I just saw yung pinaka-trending ngayon na, sabihin mo na kay Kim Chu. All these things that she has built over the years, uh, isang sablay. Because, I'm not trying to defend her, but I know, being a public speaker myself, it's not all the time that you have your thoughts composed. Sometimes at random, and then sometimes marami kayo iniisip, and nagkakahalo-halo din. And the most difficult thing is if you have a very limited time. Boston knows this, or any speakers knows this. It is very, very difficult to do a 5 or 10 minute talk. I can do a 3 hour talk or a whole day talk without preparation. But to do a 10 minute talk, I still have to do a lot of research, and because you don't want to miss things, you want to go direct to the point. Last year, when I gave a talk in Tokyo after coming from South Africa, I was given 5 minutes to pitch for the Philippines among 11 other countries. Each country was given 5 minutes to pitch for their countries why they should invest in the Philippines. 5 minutes. And grogi pa ako nun because from South Africa to the Philippines, from Philippines, 45 minutes, lipat ako ng airport and then went straight to Tokyo. 53 hours ka na gising. So, I had to prepare and write down everything na lang. That's why I had to read it because it's very difficult na mawala ka sa train of thought mo. Now, going back to Kim Chu, all these things that she has established all these years, sira kagad. I mean, ang nakita lang ng tao ngayon is yung few seconds na sumablay dun sa sinabi niya. And just to be fair to the kid or to the girl, I think si Buana din siya. Ay, yun lang yung nakita ng tao. Yung pagkalito. That's how people judge you. Isang sablay. And sometimes, di bali sana kung totoo. But what if they hear something bad about you from somebody who's just trying to destroy you? Trying to ruin your reputation. That's the reason why you have to build that reputation so strong that kahit ano pang sabihin ng iba, it will be very difficult for others to believe. Di, kilala ko yan si June. Kilala ko yan si Boss Weary. Kilala ko yan si Boss Chris. Kilala ko yan si Zella. They will never do that. Establish your reputation. Again, karma. Always remember that. Okay. Now, this is the most important part here. If you forget all about the other sharp principles, please keep this in mind. Because kahit gaano ka kagaling, if hindi ka binless, kahit anong effort pang gawin mo, kung hindi ka i-bless, walang mangyayari sa'yo. Okay. This is also the reason why I accept a lot of speaking engagements, because I have the opportunity to talk about this. And wala nang choice yung crowd kung hindi makinig. This is my way of bringing God to the workplace. Okay. Now, track as a Christian. First is, in whatever you do, you have to seek first the kingdom of God. Seek first the kingdom of God. You pray for enlightenment. Pray, okay, I will work. But boss, I call him boss. I call him boss even before I met Boston. When I pray, it's very casual. Boss, I report to him. I just talk. This is how I talk to God. Uh, you ask him to bless your hard work. And then do not rely on your own strength. Hindi, magaling kasi ako eh. Kaya ako naging champion. Magaling ako, kaya ako nakabenta. You have that attitude of gratitude. You lift up everything to Him. Without Him, kahit ano pang gawin mo, kahit anong research gawin mo, kahit anong lead generation ng gawin mo, if He will not bless it, wala mangyayari sa'yo. And then, offer all your efforts for His greater glory and do everything in His mighty name. Amen? Now, H is have faith when you ask. This is very important. Faith is believing that it is already been granted. If, for example, we pray, do you believe in God? You say yes. Do you believe He can give you what you're asking for in time? Yes. Then why do you have to worry? If you pray and you worry, you are insulting God's power. Just like when our kids ask something from us, and then we tell them, "O sige, pag uwi ko, dadalhin ko yan. Bibiling ko yung pang-project mo sa school." And then your kid asks the mom or the dad pa, or the ate, "Papa, kuya, or ate, bili mo ko ng pencil, kailangan ko sa project bukas eh." "Oh, ba't hindi ka magpabili kay daddy?" Nagsabi na ako kay daddy. O ano sabi niya? Ibibili daw niya ako. "Oh, ba't ka pa humingi sa akin?" Baka hindi niya bigay. Baka hindi niya ito pa rin eh. That's how God feels if we don't have faith with what we're asking. We are insulting Him. When you pray, have peace of mind and just expect that it will come in time, when the time is right, and when you are ready for it. So whenever you asking for anything, expect, not exact na, that He will give it to you or something better. In my case, it's always something better. Minsan may hinihingi ako. It's either He gives it right on the spot, within the same day. I can tell you a lot of stories. It's actually miraculous na I need this amount of money today or tomorrow. It comes from nowhere. Okay? But sometimes naman, it takes some time because sinasabi niya, okay, you're not ready for that yet. Next is act now. Tomorrow is a promise made by fools. Sige, bukas gagawin ko. Sige, this is procrastination. Diba? Who told you that you will still be alive tomorrow? In real estate, we are the most headline-sensitive industry. You're doing well now. Meron kang transaction ngayon. Meron bibili ng condo sa'yo. And then nagkaroon ng headline, strong earthquake hits this city. Okay. Headline. What do you think will happen to your client? Maybe hindi magde-decide, but they may defer. They may defer their decision, or they may ask some more questions. They may delay their decision. See, like what happened to Tagaytay, like what happened to COVID. What if i-close na nga kita ngayon, sinabi ka pa, sige, next week na lang. Nagkaroon ng crisis. So, nawala na yung next week mo. Tomorrow is promised to no one. So, you act now. Okay? Now, remove excess weight. Hindi yung, hindi yung, hindi yung, bigat natin ng timbang, ah. Ito yun. Let us throw off everything that hinders us. Tanggalin mo na lahat ng inggit. Remove all hang-ups, hatred, distraction, negative vibes, negative rumors, evil envy. May evil envy, may good envy. Kung naiingit ako dun sa isang champion, I want to be like that, that's positive envy. Ano kaya yung ginagawa niya? Paano ko kaya siya gagayahin? That's positive envy. But if yung champion, ay, nakachamba lang yan. Ay, siguro nakapag-date dun sa kliyente. Ay, siguro nag-rebate. Right? This is evil envy. Remove that. Just focus on giving the best service to our clients. See? Kasi pag sobrang puro ka nega, ang bigat ng dala mo. If you just focus on your objective, then you can move lightly and faster. And then, know that when you make a decision, God will empower you to succeed. Know that when you make a decision, God will empower you to succeed. When I made the decision before, let's say, to get into real estate, right now, kayo, yung mga nag-decide, mag-join ba ako ng Filipino Homes, mag-join ba ako ng real estate. If you make that decision, after praying to Him, God will empower you to succeed 100%. 100% if you have faith. If you do the things that I've mentioned earlier and you believe in Him, He will empower you to succeed. Because, bakit He will let you fail? You asked His permission. You prayed for it. Eh siya nagsabi sa'yo na, okay, go. Sige. Tuloy mo. Suportahan ta ka. Why will he let you fail? Right? So, pray to make a decision, and when you've made the decision after praying, and then you can discern that that is His will, He will empower you to succeed. Okay. Now, whether you believe it or not, I'm telling you, this worked for me. This worked for a lot of my agents before, and is still working now. They're all champions in their respective companies. Most of the champions in most of the major companies here in Manila, the bigger developers, were my former sharks also. So this works, believe it or not. So when you have a trophy, don't forget to give all the glory and honor to God. Okay. Now, in this may bonus. So in this times of COVID crisis, very very important is your branding. You see, there will be thousands of people now who will be going online, unlike sa mall. Pre-COVID, alam mo kung nasan yung mga agents. Nandun sa booth, nandun sa may tabi ng elevator, nagbibigay ng flyers, nandun sa tabi ng entrance. They stand out. Maharang mo. But in the online space, which is going to be very crowded, if you don't know how to post, and wala ka pang budget for advertising, wala mangyari sa'yo. Wala kang online image, wala kang online reputation, wala kang online brand, puro for sale. If you build your brand, because yes, there are people who just look for saan ba meron for sale, but there are more people who will look for a trusted expert to help them in their search. There will be more people who will require the services of an expert advisor to guide them in their choice. even if makakuha na sila, okay, oh, may nakita ka na property dito for sale, they will still call you. Case in point, just yesterday, one of the top officers of one of the biggest real estate organizations in the country. I'm not even very close to them. She sent me a private message and was asking, can I ask your advice regarding a real estate deal? Okay, yes. Uh, Meron akong client who would like to unload one of these properties. Ano ba mas maganda and why, especially during these times of crisis? I don't have anything to do with that transaction. Wala naman akong cut doon. Hindi ko naman siya agent. She is a very respected uh, practitioner. But they still ask for an opinion, even just an opinion. See, so that makes you feel good, and you don't expect anything. But at least being appreciated is something that makes you feel meron pala akong silbi dun sa lipunan. Now, so people, it's very important that you build your brand so that instead of people looking for properties, they will look for experts to guide them in looking for properties. So how do you do it? How do you build your brand? You serve, you share, and then you shift. You serve, you share, you shift. The market has now shifted from being is it, from a seller's market now to a buyer's market. That's the reason why you see developers now giving huge discounts. Giving huge discounts doesn't mean the property has depreciated. Where does the developer get it? They get it by uh, sacrificing a little of their profit or their margins. No? So, mas, if they can just get a decent profit, okay na, unlike pre-COVID times, okay? Because they want market share. Remember, you have only two choices: profit share, profit or market share. So now they want market share. Muna ngayon. As an agent, you must also learn how to shift with the market. The market has shifted already. Okay, which market is now heavily affected by this crisis? High end, middle, low end. If I'm in the high end, I'll forget about my sabihin na ng iba, yung iba kasi social o gusto ko ganitong market o gusto ko ganito lang properties na binibenta ko. But if you have recognized that the market has shifted to the other side or to a different category, learn how to shift. Study it, build your network for it, and then focus on that market because that's the active market. So you learn how to serve, share, and shift. Number two is to help. This is a very important time that you hold hands, okay, not literally social distancing. You hold hands of your clients and your agents when they need help. Be of service to them. Give them calls. Call them, contact them, PM them, write them an email, send them comments in their posts. But the most important thing is offer help. Is there anything I can do for you? Ask them how they're doing and then offer help, whether it's real estate related or not. The objective is to keep your name on top of their minds. If I think of an agent, you are the first in my mind. That is your objective because you will be competing with thousands of people online. So make sure ikaw yung unang may isip nila. Now, associate with positive people. Forget about people who will talk about kung may nakikita ka nga na post na magka-crush na, puro negative na. and block them or unfriend them. This is not good for your business. If they're filling up your feeds with bad news, block them or unfriend them. Especially pag ina-add ka pa, tinatag ka pa dun sa negative, oh, magkakaroon na pala ng crash. Then gusto lang nila magmarunong na, oh, see, sabi siya, magka-crash yan. That's the easiest thing to say, na magka-crash. Then, people will visit your timeline and then they see, uy, puro bad news, puro bad news, puro bad news. Ba't ako mag-i-invest sa real estate? Okay. You associate yourself with positive people. Okay. Again, I'm not saying that you disregard the other side of the news. You read it, listen to it, validate it, and then see how can you find opportunities from that negative news, or how can you hurdle that obstacle. Okay. And then reinvent yourself. Reinventing yourself is like improving yourself. No? Like from a caterpillar, we came into this crisis like a cocoon, and then you should come out like a butterfly. You reinvent yourself because once the lockdown is lifted under the new norm, it will be a whole new world. So how do you present yourself? Uh, Sabi nga, right now it's time to be bold. Not bold, not bold. Bold, which is you have to do something which is above the ordinary. You have to stand out with competition, especially online. You have to learn a lot of new profitable skills. You have to learn a lot of new profitable skills. Develop yourself, develop your knowledge, develop your skills, learn new skills. Okay. And then keep your agents loyal to you. What does loyalty mean? Porkit ba nandyan? I know a lot of people who stayed with the company. Tapos, sabi nga, 15 years, alam mo, 15 years na kita naririnig, nirereklamo mo yung boss mo, nirereklamo mo yung company. Bakit nandyan ka pa rin? Eh, naghihintay lang ako ng magandang offer. Kung lalayasan ko na to eh. You see that attitude. One, there's an attitude of being ungrateful, which is never good. See? Always have this attitude of gratitude. Ngayon, that company has been feeding you and your family, tapos ganun ka mag-isip. If you have that mentality, you will never give it your all. If you have that mentality, you will not be proactive. You will not be suggesting things to improve your company or expand the business. A loyal person not only stays with you, but has the growth of your company or your group in mind. Okay? Ang loyal talaga dyan sa grupo mo, yan yung either not only exerting effort, but ang concern yan is how to grow and expand your group, how to improve your production. That is what you call a loyal person. Do not mistake loyalty from lack of choice. Iba kasi nagsistay because wala silang choice. That's not loyalty. Lack of choice lang yan. But the person who's always there, boss, ganito kaya gawin natin. Boss, paano kung gawin natin to? Boss, paano kung dagdagan natin yung ganitong activity? Then that is what they call a loyal person. The one who has the group's development in mind. Okay? So this is very applicable in times of crisis like this.